We are near the end of the road. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Ground Zero. Our force open alongside Tony Sparacio, and we are live from the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And man, what a show we got for you guys tonight.
Yes, it is I, the most exhausted man in college, Tony Sparacio, here on the Go Home Show for Ground Zero, starting off with some four-way action.
And our four-way first match of the night. It is a matchup where we decided to put four men who we haven't seen in a while in this ring here tonight. Yuri, Franco Lavetta, Max Maximus, and Evelyn Reeves all are here tonight, and man, it's going to be a crazy matchup, this one.
Yep, it is a showcase for four competitors in the Internet Championship tournament that is going to be happening the following night after Ground Zero that I cannot wait for. And we're going to be seeing these four men tomorrow night, but they have quite the message to show off in this ring tonight to get the ball rolling on their amazing weekend.
And speaking of this coming weekend, not only do we have a tournament as well as control, but we do have some polls going on Twitter to determine what stipulations will be chosen for certain matches of control. It's going to be, Twitter's been going crazy in the first 24 hours since the polls came out, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a wonder to see what matches will be chosen for that poll.
Yep, and if you haven't voted yet, I definitely recommend to vote, because you only have 3 hours and 10 minutes left to cast your votes on all but two matches on the pay-per-view card.
Oh, that is very true. As we're currently waiting for the first person to come in. Oh.
Well, I guess the competitors are ready. Let's get into it.
Contest is a steel cage match. Making his way to the ring from Tokyo, Japan, weighing in at 241 pounds, the superstar.
Yuri, ready to get things going in his first match for a while in Apex Wrestling. What you see this man wrestle. What are your thoughts on this man?
This man always finds a way to reinvent himself, and this match is no different. Changing up his hair, changing up his gear, and who knows, maybe changing up his style along the way. It's always quite fun to see Yuri in action, because you never know what to expect from him.
It's very true. He's been in the ring with a lot of good guys in Apex. He's facing up on three very good competitors, and here's the first one.
Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 198 pounds, Franco.
Franco Lavetta, a man who has gone for a couple of title opportunities, but was not able to win any of them. Tonight, he's looking to showcase what he can do, not against only three other people, but as well as in that steel cage.
Yep, Franco, one of the only few men to go for both the world and intercontinental champion, but unfortunately never really always coming short of the goal at hand. But I think hopefully he makes history in becoming the first man to go for both of our 3 men's championships.
Fraser Rivera, one of my favorite underrated wrestlers, a man who I feel could be good in this ring. He just hasn't been able to showcase it as much lately as he used to.
Coming back from a recent absence, this might give him a fire under his stomach. You know?
No, I'd agree with that. And here comes arguably the most well-known man out of this fatal four-way.
At 205 pounds, Maximus.
The self-proclaimed masterpiece, Max Maximus. One of, if not the most well-known cruiserweights to ever grace this or any ring in the community.
Of course, Max being the most popular person in this match, with being 3rd ranked overall when it comes to the seed placement, which I believe, according to Lee Anderson, he based the seed placement on their Twitter following. With being the 3rd most followed in this tournament, it would probably give him more of an advantage and more fan support than a lot of the other competitors in this tournament.
From the City of Angels, weighing in at 242 pounds, the surgeon, Evelyn Reeves.
Oh my good lord, how long has it been since Evelyn Reeves has been wrestling? But here he is, coming out in style.
One of the most unorthodox competitors in all of Apex history, has made a mark here in Apex. But never got to a championship opportunity, and it's his time to shine as he goes for this internet championship.
Oh yeah, probably one of the one of the underrated favorites to come into this internet title tournament, and honestly, one of my personal favorite picks to possibly win that match.
Might not be around as often, but when he is definitely a man that impresses.
No, honestly, if you ask me, I think the way he's always been able to succeed in that ring on the matches where he's won is because of the mind games that he plays with his opponents. The way he just goes about in the ring is so, how do I put this? It's so mysterious. He's one of those guys that you just can't comprehend too much without probably overthinking it.
The word you're looking for is unorthodox.
Yes, thank you.
You can't put your finger on what is so strange about him. That is what makes him probably the most deadliest out of all 4 of these competitors.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting fatal 4-way match, because this match, just like a one-on-one match, can be pinfalls and submissions only in this match, and it goes back to what I said before. The Athletic Commission, when it comes to steel cage matches, is a bit messed up in my opinion, in this regard.
Well, despite our feeling towards certain match types, that doesn't take away of how explosive this match is already.
Oh, hell no. Right now, Yuri and Maximus are going at it while Rivera and Reeves are going at it. But if you had to take a pick, who do you think would most likely be the most likely to win this matchup here between these 4 men?
Using my very unbiased thought process and statistical analytics, I would say that Evelyn Reeves has all to gain in winning a match here tonight.
Wait a minute, what the hell? What the hell, Yuri Kato, Yuri, sorry, fucked up there. Yuri actually trying to get out of the cage.
Could be planning something.
Would have been. I'd be feeling there's something here, but right now, oh, and Maximus just throws Yuri right into the steel cage.
That cage don't tickle. It is made of solid steel.
Oh, hell no it doesn't. And now Franco went for a single leg Boston Crab, and Maximus going to climb on the cage. Oh, oh, Maximus somehow seemed to do his own share of banging his own head on the steel cage, and that caused him to fall off. And Rue's going over the climbing on the wall now.
Max, unfortunately, it looks like he slipped on the rope, and the momentum just gets ahead of you, and that's how you fall and hit your head on the cage.
And now Franco. Now it's official. All 4 men have tried at least once to similarly climb out of the steel cage.
I don't know. Maybe technically leaving the cage would imply a disqualification, but I don't know. Maybe they're not trying to get to the outside of the cage. Maybe they're trying to get to the top of the cage. These four extreme daredevils.
Well, Franco just leveled Maximus with that flatliner. Now he's measuring him, looks like. Yuri's on fire over Evelyn Reeves right now as well. Maximus with an elbow to Lavetta. Kind of hard to keep track of two Francos when they're on the same card a little bit there.
Not in the same match.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately not being able to keep the offense up.
Right now, Evelyn Reeves with a nice electric teardrop to Maximus as Yuri works on Franco Lavetta. And now Reeves measuring Maximus. Let's put him away with the another driver. Cover. But Franco Lavetta saving the matchup. And now it's going back and forth between Lavetta and Reeves. And now Franco's the only one standing at this point.
With it being one fall to a finish and everybody being cramped up in this cage, it's going to be very hard to gain a victory here.
All right, now Yuri trying to get out, and even though Franco was focusing on Evelyn Reeves, he caught Yuri in the corner of his eye and got him out of there. And now Evelyn Reeves with a twisted unprettier. And now he's flipping out like crazy, and Franco trying to climb out of the cage.
Wait a minute, yeah, he's almost out of there.
Well, what's going on here?
Not.
Oh, wait a minute. Maximus trying to stop Evelyn Reeves. Now he's going to work on Franco. And now Yuri's up on the top rope, and Franco's trying to climb on, still on the top. Yuri's stopping him now. And Evelyn Reeves trying to steal the pin. No, kick out of two. Trying to steal the win out of Franco Franco Lavetta.
I think I'm getting something in my headset that climbing into the cage will have a will ensure a victory for whoever gets out of the cage.
Oh my God! All three men fell down. Now Maximus is climbing up the cage. He's at the top. Evelyn Reeves getting up. They're going to take him down. Lavetta's up. He's going to work on Yuri. Now he's climbing up the cage. We're going to deal with Maximus here. Oh, now he's... Oh, man. The top of Reeves' head. Slamming right into the cage. The most solid part of that whole ring. And Maximus, because of the whole shebang, is climbing out of the cage.
You would have thought that Franco would be able to stop Maximus by actually slamming Evelyn Reeves' head over Maximus's foot. If you saw how that happened, it looked like it messed it up.
What the hell is... Why did the referee call for the bell?
Well, like I said, there was some kind of miscommunication, and I think the rules were dictated that the victor can gain the victory through escaping the cage as well.
That's...
Here is your winner, Maximus.
Oh, Maximus ultimately going to be declared the winner of this matchup. I'm just a bit wondering as to why they made it such a way to where you can win by both escaping the cage as well as pinfall and submission. Earlier we did have it to where while one guy was trying to climb out of the cage, another guy came pretty close to getting a pinfall, but what happened, I guess. So
yeah, most we can do is just move on to the next match.
Speaking of the next match, this is gonna be awkward. Because coming up next, the owner, Lee Anderson, will be taking on Princeton one-on-one in a no-holds-barred match.
And it seems like Lee Anderson wants to do a little test run, a little sparring match with one of the rookie competitors, one of his Apex exclusives, and really make sure that he's in peak physical condition when he takes on the Hacker.
I guess.
That's what I think, at least.
And
it's surprising to hear that the Apex cage is being raised right now. We're seeing the cage being raised. The match isn't going to be inside the cage.
Well, I guess Lee Anderson feels confident about something here. Who knows? We're going to see what happens here.
I don't know. I mean, I think if anybody tries to interfere in Lee's match, they're gonna feel his wrath. Nobody's gonna mess with his show and his match, you know? That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, at this point, he's already pissed off about a lot of things. The last thing you want to do, honestly, is to get involved in this match if you're not the opponent that he decided that agreed to face him tonight. But in any case, Anderson and Princeton, a no-holds-barred match. Match begins right now. Here comes the boss, and man, he looks like he is ready for a fight tonight.
Yeah, I mean he's preparing himself both physically and mentally. Even though we don't really know what the Hacker's fighting style is really going to be like, it could be anything. He could be a power guy, he could be a technical guy, he can be a flyer, he could be all the above.
Making his way to the ring from Battle Creek, Michigan. Weighing in at 260 pounds, the felon, Lee Anderson.
Well, Lee Anderson, it's been a while since we last seen him wrestle in this ring. The last time I believe we've seen him was in a tag team match between him and Matthew Moretti, back when he was known as Matt Matthews, in a tag team match with both those men getting the victory over their opponents.
Yep, and one of those opponents is actually Princeton's tag team partner, Danny the Bodyguard. I don't know, maybe he knows something that we don't.
Again, your guess would be as good as mine, but right now Anderson, as much as he's looking for a sparring partner, I'd say he's just on the warpath. He just wants to vent out some frustration at somebody before his matchup against this hacker at Control.
And he's going to get that with quite the young upstart in Princeton.
And his opponent, from Vancouver, British Columbia, weighing in at 198 pounds, Ryan Steve.
Oh, Princeton, a very interesting up-and-comer in Apex Wrestling. Been had his fair share of good matches, wins, losses here and there. But, man, I gotta say, no matter how many times I see this man in the ring, he always impresses me.
Yep, same. He was trained by the same person that trained the Wolves of Prey and JD Rec, and it really shows. All three of those people that I just mentioned have been quite impressive, and so is this man. He's changed his hair a lot recently, if you've noticed. He went from red to purple, and now it seems like he's not even dyeing it anymore. He's keeping his natural blonde out.
I
don't know. Maybe he just is lazy. Maybe he's just deciding, it's not his thing anymore.
Well, who knows, but right now Anderson going to work on this young man. I think Princeton may have made a mistake accepting this fight. Because Anderson, I've seen him many times before, and this man ain't no pushover. He will fight you to the point to where he will make you earn the victory.
I mean, how is he going to say no to his boss, though? That would be a very stupid decision to say no to your boss.
Oh, wait a minute, what the...
What?
What the hell is going on here? Who the hell
Wait
is
a minute!
What the hell? What the
That's
hell?
another minion!
Some minion is attacking. What the hell is going on here?
What? Oh my god!
What the fuck is going on here?
And it looked like Lee was trying to shoo him off.
I guess Lee Anderson's telling him, get the fuck out of my ring. Kick out of two by Princeton. What the fuck is going on here? That's the... This hacker must have seen something coming, so he decided to bring one of his minions to come out and interrupt the match, regardless of who he was interrupting, no matter who he was attacking.
Well, think about it. The Apex cage is up. It seems like the lockdown rules are starting to lax out.
Well, Anderson actually looked like he was looking at the entryway, and I can't blame him. He wants to make sure there are no other attackers coming out to interfere in this matchup.
That was insane. See the size of that guy?
Dude, he was a big motherfucker, my dude. God damn. Don't really see very many big dudes coming out of this ring in any way, shape, or form, whether they're attacking somebody or wrestling in this ring. Well, Princeton, though, he's actually mounting a comeback against Anderson. Anderson now throwing him into the corner, but Princeton kicks him right in the side of the head.
Princeton's putting up quite the fight.
And now Princeton gets suplexed twice. One was a standard one, and the other one was like a twirling, like a twisting suplex. Oh, and Princeton counters it pretty good. Goes for a nice combo and sends Ray Anderson down to his feet. Goes for the cover on the boss. Kick out of two. And it's going to take more than that to beat this man. I can already tell you that much.
I think Princeton's setting up for something.
Oh, yeah, he is. What's he going for here? Oh no. Oh, no. No!
Oh,
You gotta be kidding me, Vernon Power! Vernon Breaker! God damn! 260-pound Vernon Breaker covered by Princeton! Van Anderson got the shoulder up!
Wow!
Princeton,
Insanity that he could kick out from a vertebreaker.
his neck's got to be damn near broken, and this Anderson's. Oh man, Anderson's gonna make Princeton pay with a beast bite, but Princeton gets out of it.
That rings of Saturn definitely will get that wear and tear on Princeton.
And Anderson with a pile driver of Princeton. Paid him back for the vertebreaker, if you ask me, when he did that.
That was insane.
And now Anderson measuring Princeton. You know where this is going. Anderson going for the prison break. Cover. And just like that, Anderson just put away Princeton.
Wow. Good showing by both men, I will say. Props are to Princeton. The fact that he could stand toe-to-toe with the owner like that.
Yeah, I think Princeton just got some respect out of Lee Anderson after that fight between these two. Although this minion that came out and attacked Princeton early in the match, that some people would see that was a contributing factor to Anderson winning. Who knows? That's a mystery for another day. But at the end of the day, Anderson victorious once again in this match as he goes toward Apex Wrestling Control, as he looks forward to fighting this hacker in a Luchas de Apuestas match.
Here is your winner, the Felon, Lee Anderson.
Jojo, you on something again? God damn it.
Sorry, I was doing shots for her the other day. Earlier today.
Cause you had her swearing her letters. I don't know what the hell she was trying to say. But okay. Whatever floats her damn boat. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, Rochelle Ross and Sophia Richie fight in a steel cage. A match that I am honestly looking forward to. A match that honestly best fit both women here tonight.
Yep, we got the #1 contender for the women's champion, Rochelle Ross, and we got Sophia Richie, the sister, I believe, Reckless Intent Franco. Sophia looking to make an impact in her in a match against the #1 contender. Will she be able to pull off an upset, or will this just be another spoke in the wheel? That is the road to the eventual women's championship match.
At this point, I'd say Rochelle Ross and Olga have been going absolutely crazy with their matches as of late. Both actually picking up some pretty good wins and probably one or two embarrassing losses here and there, but in the end, they've been showing what to expect in their women's title match.
Yeah, I definitely think that women's championship match is going to be the craziest thing we will ever see, no matter what match type gets picked. But that's this weekend, and tonight we have a great match that's going to start right now.
Making her way to the ring from Queens, New York, the Villain.
Oh, Rochelle Ross, a person that some people feel will beat Olga Markowski for the women's title at Control, regardless of the stipulation. But like her fans, others believe Olga is going to walk out the winner of that match. it's just going to be a back and forth fight to say the least. Let's be honest here.
Yep, two of the biggest when it comes to size ladies we have in Apex, just going at it.
And
Whatever match type our lovely
from
fans
Rome,
get to pick.
Italy, Sophia Diamond Ricci.
Sophia Ricci, one of the first. It's been a while since we last seen her wrestle in this ring, and what a way it would be for her to come out victorious in this match against the #1 contender, like you said earlier. It would put her high on the contention list if she could beat Rochelle Ross, and if that's the case, Rochelle hopefully does not get too depressed on that, because she has a title match this weekend, and she cannot let this loss, if it happens tonight, take the better of her.
Oh, I definitely think Rochelle's not taking this match too lightly. She takes every match as serious as possible and with the same amount of aggression as her biggest and smallest matches.
Right now, Rochelle Ross going to work on Sophia Ricci. Oh, Rochelle Ross actually using her knee to push Sophia's head right onto the steel cage there. And now a side slam.
Question is, will Rochelle capitalize on this?
Right now she's got her in a camel clutch, a standing camel clutch. Sophia though getting out of it. And now Sophia looks to try to get things back in her, looks to get things in her advantage. And that's the one thing you don't want when you're dealing with a big woman wrestler. You don't want the advantage to go their way. You want it to stay your way, and you cannot make any mistakes in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, definitely. And Sophia on quite the roll right now.
And a spear! A spear by Sophia Ricci.
God.
Now Ricci's on the warpath tonight. She's fighting. We haven't seen her. She wants to impress this crowd before Control hits. And if you ask me, she's starting to do that.
Yeah, honestly, I would think Apex management would be very impressed and would keep Sophia on the short list of just weekly competitors.
Sophia tried to go for a submission hold. It took Rochelle a little bit of time to get out of it. And oh my God, what a kick to the face. Oh, wait a minute. Sophia Ricci going for a nice elbow drop off the top rope to Rochelle Ross.
Beautiful elbow.
Right now, Sophia Ricci is going for here. Oh my God, the power of this woman! Able to do that move to Rochelle Ross. That is going to probably take it. And Rochelle Ross going up and over, knees to the back. Ricci into the cover. Oh, and a kick out of 2.9.
Wow. That was 2.999999999. That was the absolute last millisecond that Rochelle Ross could have kicked out. In any fucking parallel universe, Sophia would have won that.
I wouldn't doubt it. But now Sophia going on the top rope again. Turning around, elbow to the back of Rochelle.
Softening her up for Olga for their match on this weekend at Control.
And as you just said, Ricci went for the cover, but Rochelle Ross, because of how light that move was, seemed to kicked out at one that time.
I think that was instinctual. Like that move definitely looked like it hurt. But like when you're in the heat of the moment, you will kick out instinctively, no matter how much pain you are in.
Right now, Ross just getting dominated by Ricci right now. Covered by Ricci. And just barely before a 2 count, Ross kicks out again.
So surprising that Sophia Richie, the smaller of the two, is controlling the match as she is.
Well, normally you'd expect Rochelle Ross, because of her size, to be taking it to Richie. But it's just been the opposite ever since the first quarter of the match. And Richie is just showing that size doesn't always matter in this ring, as she does for a cover yet again. And a kick out of 2.
She's trying to capitalize on every single move that she does, because at any point in this match, I think she thinks that Rochelle is bound to not kick out at one of these moves.
Well, right now, Rochelle Ross Carter measuring Sophia Richie. Oh, and there's a Samoa drop.
Out of nowhere, almost. It didn't seem like Rochelle was really getting much offense in, and then she just throws this curveball.
She just went for the cover, but Richie kicked out at 2.
Surprising to see, though.
A nice jaw-jacker counter from Richie. And now Sophia on another nice swinging neck breaker. But Ross counters her with a nice clothesline.
That big lariat from a big woman looking to capitalize and get this quick victory on her way to Control.
Uh-oh. And now Sophia measuring Ross. Looks to put her away. Going over. Knees to the back. Goes for the cover that might do it. And Sophia Richie beats the #1 contender.
Wow. Very impressive by Sophia. And this definitely puts her in line for a future Apex Women's title shot, I would assume.
Well, the way I see it, she should get a title shot, and I already see that she would be making her case. Just the fact that she beat the #1 contender. So now, probably in Lee Anderson's mind, the only way for her to get a title shot would be to say, hey, yeah, you beat the #1 contender, but I want to see what you can do with the women's champion. Or he might just say, hey, you earned it. It's been a while, but he may feel like she earned it because of tonight's showing, the fact that she dominated Rochelle Ross tonight.
All that I would definitely think would happen after Control, once the landscape has been changed for the better, or for the worse, as we'll see, where we will have maybe a new women's champion, maybe a retaining one, but at the end of the day, Sophia Richie has picked up quite an impressive win here tonight.
Oh, wholeheartedly, she really has. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Let's see if this next victory is as impressive as this victory.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is Jacob Helms going one-on-one against Cody Hagan. 2 men. One man that has just debuted last week on ground this past week, and another man who, because he felt like he hasn't had a match recently, he is getting one now because Lee Anderson said, fuck it, you're getting a match tonight. Just to shut him up, probably.
Cody in the Internet title tournament, looking to get some momentum as he gets in the tournament tomorrow. And Jacob Helms, the self-proclaimed king of the cruiserweights, looking to keep the role that he has had, keep going forward. Last week, defeating a very close ally with Cody Hagan and Christian Tracy. Let's see if he can keep this reckless train going by defeating the veteran Cody Hagan.
Making his way to the ring from Phoenix, Arizona, weighing in at 195 pounds, Jacob Hale.
Well, Jacob Helms, he has been impressive in his debut match. Let's see what he can do against Cody Hagan in a one-on-one match.
Yep, the young gun, the self-proclaimed king of the cruiserweights, Jacob Helms. Seems like he's got quite the following behind him for somebody as new to the Cause scene as he is. He has etched quite the mark in every company that he's been in, even Apex right now. But let's see if he can etch that mark even further tonight when he goes up against the veteran Cody Hagan.
And here comes the veteran Cody Hagan, a man that some, in my opinion, like to poke fun at for one reason or another. But lately he is showing why you don't fuck with Cody Hagan.
From Indianapolis, Indiana,
Cody, one of the more verbal, one of the more outspoken people to talk against the hacker, and him just shouting as much as he can, a lot like Alex is on fire, talking about how there's no police in Apex here.
And Cage is being lowered back down as these two are ready to fight. The referee calls for the bell. This match is underway. One thing I gotta give these two men credit for is the fact that no matter how many times they win or lose, they've always impressed me with their athleticism, their speed, their agility, pretty much everything a wrestler needs. I believe they got.
Cody, again, the bigger and the more powerful of the two. A person that will more than usually go for his strength over everything. And Helms, the more athletic of the two, looking to fly around, have more high impact moves than Hagan. We'll see how their styles really do clash.
All right, now both men already went for their first fall of the match, both of which, of course, ended with an early 1 count. No 2 counts there. Well, Cody just hit hard with that kick. As Helms goes for the cover already, and another quick out at 1.
Yeah, Cody, as much as he is hated and joked around about, he is resilient.
Oh, that's a damn sure fact. And now Helms, oh my God! Superplex off the middle rope, and Helms had the elevation on the top rope, so that hurt harder for him than it did Cody, as they were both coming down off the middle and top rope respectively.
A picture-perfect superplex if I've ever seen one.
And now Helms is stomping away on Hagan. And now with a nice show of leg power as he forced Cody, going from one side of the ring to the other. And now Hagan slamming him down hard with a cover and another quick out at 1. Hagan's got
not being able to get it done with a Michinoku driver, looking to change things up and go for something else.
And now Hagan measuring Helms. What's he going for here? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh! Stretched him so many ways with a flatliner. Goes to the cover and a kick out of 2.
A beautiful, gory flatliner, to say the least.
And now Helms trying to get back into things here. And now, oh, now Helms kicked him in the midsection, hits him with a brainbuster. Now he's measuring.
Perfect brainbuster, to say the least.
Now he's measuring him and goes right smack dab with a nice slam. Goes to the cover by Hagen, kicking out at 2. And Helms ain't pissed off about it. He is hype.
He's getting that proverbial second win. Let's see if he can use it wisely.
And now going with a nice combo of moves there, as he's trying to go off on Cody Hagen. And now Helms with a second time with a brainbuster right on him there. Goes to the cover. And a kick out of 2 by Hagen.
Wow.
Helms looks like he's about ready to try to put this match away. And he looks for it, goes for it again, and he gets him. Cover again. And Jacob Helms again showing what he can do and getting a victory out of it.
Impressive by Jacob Helms. A congratulations are due by everybody involved with that match, and here on the commentary desk as well. Congratulations are due to Cody Helms.
Did you say Cody Helms?
Did I?
I think you just did. He means Cody Hagen. Either you're talking about Jacob Helms or Cody Hagen. You just said Cody Helms.
They're having a baby!
Hey, it's 2 men and a baby, holy shit! Anyway, a very good match between these two. Nice back and forth fight. Doing this ring, but in the end, it's Jacob Helms with the victory over Cody Hagen tonight.
Winner, Jacob Helms.
Impressive, to say the least.
Now coming next, ladies and gentlemen, women's tag team action as the Wolves of Prey take on the Charm City Queens. I don't know how I fucked that up, but still, it's going to be in a tornado tag steel cage match. It's going to be crazy tonight between these two.
Yep, last time they faced off was at the last Apex pay-per-view, where technically the Wolves did get a victory, though by countout. But the fact that they're locked up in a steel cage, there's nowhere to go for them. We will see a definitive victor. Well, kind of. There will be no pinfall, but there will be in this game. We will see a definitive victor between these two. And the winner will get a significant amount of momentum going into the triple threat tag team match between these two teams and the Black Empire.
And speaking of the Black Empire, it's very crazy how this has been going. All 3 teams have, in one way or another, faced each other in that ring in the past month. Tonight, we're getting the rematch from Apex Wrestling at Apex Wrestling's Chase for the Gold event last month. But the only funny part I find about this is the irony. The fact that it basically was them trying to make it was basically a way in where the match ended in a very controversial fashion. Tonight, it looks to end the same way here tonight if all does not go according to plan for one or the other.
I'm excited to see these two teams facing off. They have a lot of animosity between each other, and it's going to be quite entertaining.
Introducing first, from Dudleyville, Devin Wolf.
Well, this is a bit interesting. The Wolves of Prey actually looking like they're coming out by themselves tonight. I don't know what's going on there, but
maybe they want to eat up as much screen time as they can. They are very vain individuals.
yeah, that's true, considering how their history in Apex Wrestling has been since their debut here. They're looking like
they are a part of the Wolf family, and the Wolf family is very vain. As you know.
That's an understatement of the year. Oh, we got Devin. Here comes Donna. These two women are looking to fight. Looking for a fight here tonight in what is going to be what I believe a very big back and forth tag team tornado tag match in that steel cage. And of course, because of the rules, you can only win by escaping the cage. In all honesty, that kind of sucks, but what can you do?
I believe it's produced some of the best matches we've seen since this Apex lockdown has been unfortunately brought upon us.
I was about to say we're currently awaiting the arrival of the Charm City Queens, and as I was saying that, I did notice the lights change to fit their entrance, and here they come, the Apex Women's Tag Team Champions.
Women's Champions, the Queen, Amber Young, and Rachel Jackson, the Queens.
Amber Young and Rachel Jackson. Since their debut, they have been a living proof as to how they've been just proving how dominant they can be in that ring in Apex Wrestling. And it's just been one hell of a time for them, to the point where they're the current Apex Women's Tag Team Champions. But some people question that they may not be holding the belts after Control. But I mean, we're talking about a tag team that have done almost everything except for a triple threat tag team title match, and if they can complete that, then they're already showing how dominant they really are.
Yep, multi-team tag team matches have not been their forte. That is the reason they were never they weren't the inaugural Women's Tag Team Champions. Eventually becoming the second ever, and I would say the most dominant women's tag team that we've ever seen. Been here since the very beginning of the women's tag team division, and it's just shown how much of a staying force they are. There's only a select few women's tag teams that are even still around from those inaugural 6 teams, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And I think they're the only ones left. Some have continued to be with the company, but in the singles division. But they're the only team that has stayed around.
Yeah, it shows how much they care about being a tag team, to the point where I don't think they will ever break up in any way, shape, or form. And right now, Jackson is going on the warpath with Devin. And she is stopping Devin dead in the tracks. And now Donna going over to Amber Young. Amber's over the top, and Rachel, she's starting to climb to the top of the cage. Now Devin focusing solely on Amber Young, as Rachel Jackson is just about to climb over the cage. And Devin looked like she just realized that, but she said, fuck it. And now Devin's going to try to climb over the cage. What the hell is she? I guess not. Well, Rachel Jackson's out of the cage. Donna's started her climb to the top. Devin's keeping Amber at bay as she starts her climb to the top.
Maybe this is strategy. Maybe they wanted the big girl out and to focus on double teaming Amber so they can make it out.
Well, right now Amber looking like trying to figure out who to go for. She's decided to go for Devin as Donna climbs out of the cage.
God.
So now it's tied 1-1 between Amber and Devin. Whoever escapes the cage wins the match for their tag team, for their respective team. What the fuck are they doing? Are they just
Trading blows up there.
It's hard to see from SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Patrick are fake fighting and they're just making it look good, but right now they're both completely missing each other. Every just now, and Amber Young stops standing in her tracks. Elbows are off the top rope as she starts her climb to the top of the cage.
Uh-oh.
I was wondering how long it was going to be before somebody managed to land a blow. And now Amber starting her climb to go down the other side. Devin though stopping her in her tracks. And that down goes. It's been going back and forth between these two. Oh, and a nice shot there from Devin to Amber. You can feel that. You can feel that shot hitting.
They're elbowing the cage again. They're trying to show off their macho attitude towards it. They're showing who the toughest of the two are.
I would.
Again, one of them is a wolf, so makes sense.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but right now, Amber, face first starting to steal. Devin getting a taste of it. And now Amber goes down, and now Devin starting to climb to the top.
Will this be it, though? Will Amber make it back up in time?
Amber getting up. Devin starting to get her feet for the other side of the cage. But Amber stopping her again in her tracks.
We've seen this situation before, though. All Devin needs to do is find her footing to kick Amber down.
Oh, she just did as you said that. But Amber getting right back up, not feeling that kick.
There's a reason she's one half of our women's tag champ. She does not have an ounce of quit in her body.
Oh man, Devin, you can see she's starting to get winded from that. Oh, and Amber throw face first out of the steel, and Devin taken down after that face shot, and now Amber climbing her way to the top of the cage.
Will this be it now?
As she's starting to climb, Devin's starting to come to, but will it be too late? As she climbs up, and Amber just about gets her footing down, climbing down this side of the cage. And it's over. Charm City wins.
What an insane matchup. And what an insane last 5 minutes that was. The battle on the cage between Devin and Amber was one of the most compelling things I've ever seen.
Your winners, the Queen, Amber Young, and Rachel Jackson, the Queens.
Well, this is gonna spark the what's the word I'm looking for? Shit, I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but I know what I'm trying to say. It's basically gonna spark what you normally would get after you win a match, but I can't think of the name of it right now. Thank you. I had that word in my head, but I couldn't.
Match going into control.
Yes, thank you. Exactly.
the reason you have me on color commentary.
Thank you. Coming next, this ain't no laughing matter. It's Austin Collins going up against Franco Ricci in a steel cage. Oh my goodness, I'm already not looking forward to this match for Austin's safety, because Ricci, he's called the Italian Madman for a very good reason, and that's because you don't fuck with a madman when he's locked in a steel cage.
Yep, Franco, obviously the leader of Reckless Intent, his underboss being TK Rec, a mainstay in the world title division, and Austin Collins being the #1 contender. Maybe this leads Franco to possibly throw his hat in the ring if need be.
Well, right now, Franco Ricci, this is going to be a good matchup to say the least. Let's be honest here. #1 contender versus a man that some feel could be in contention for the world title if all goes according to plan tonight. And speaking of which, this match starts right now.
Making his way to the ring from Palm Springs, Florida, weighing in at 210 pounds, Austin Collins.
Austin Collins, the #1 contender for the Apex World Champion, going to be facing Tamura for that championship belt at Control. It's going to be a damn good fight the way I figure it. These two have proven why they are the best of the best in this company. Austin Collins, he's had a bumpy road, but ever since, like I said before, his attitude changed, he has been on the road to success. And what a way it would be for him to not only win tonight, but to go to Control and beat Tamura for the Apex World title.
This might be putting a bit too much faith in our company, but I would say that if it was not for Apex, Austin Collins would not be on the mean streak that he is and the success that he is on right now if it wasn't for this amazing run that he has had in Apex. And it's going to continue as he faces off against this madman.
And his opponent, from Rome, Italy, weighing in at 220 pounds, Franco Madman Ricci.
Oh, Franco Ricci, ever since he debuted in Apex Wrestling, he has been on a mean streak. Win or lose, he has always been putting his opponents through hell and back again by the time he's done with them.
Yep, Franco is one of the best I think we have in Apex in general. Leads one of the most divisive factions, I would say. You either absolutely love them or you absolutely hate them. But one thing you cannot deny is their willingness to do whatever it takes to get to where they are right now.
Right now, Franco Ricci is a lot riding on this matchup, going up against the #1 contender, Austin Collins, in a match that some may view as a test for Austin Collins, but a possible squash match for Franco Ricci. A nice Hurricane Rana as Ricci counted Austin when Austin went for a powerbomb right then and there at the start of this fight. It shows Ricci, he's not to be taken lightly. He is going to do what he can to get that victory here tonight.
I think the word you were looking for before was an opportunity. This is an amazing opportunity for Franco to really show his worth in Apex. It seems like his underlings have really shown their worth, but it seems like Franco has not really shown his worth. And it's time for him to really show why he is here, why he is the best in Apex. Ooh, how do we put that on a shirt?
Talking about a shirt. Oh man, and Austin Collins slamming Franco's head face first out of a turnbuckle. Oh my goodness, God.
Who would have thought violence would be so hilarious?
And now Franco going to work on Austin Collins as payback for those 10 face slams into the turnbuckle. And now Collins getting choked out by this Italian madman. They don't call him an Italian madman for nothing. He's given that nickname for a goddamn reason.
One thing you don't want to do with Franco is get him mad. And if you get Franco mad, you're going to be in a world of hurt. You're going to be in a world of pain.
Oh, and Austin actually rubbing his wrist tape right across the face or forehead of Franco Richie right there.
It is not fun to be taking that gunk out of your eyebrows after getting raped with wrist tape.
Oh man, nice DDT from Franco. And Austin getting up relatively quickly. And now gets him with a DDT with a quick cover. And a quick out at one.
A beautiful DDT, but was not enough to get the victory.
And an even more beautiful super kick right there. God damn. And now a moonsault off the middle rope from Austin. Kicks Richie in the chest. And now going back to rubbing that tape on Franco Richie.
Not capitalizing off of that lion salt might risk his victory. Instead of just adding insult to injury, he should have went for the cover, I think.
Oh, Collins doesn't want to think too strategically. He just comes out here and tries to win. Oh no! Canadian Destroyer! Cover on Richie again! And a kick out by Richie again. Oh. Now Austin Collins in a submission hold. Will Richie tap out of this hold? I don't think so. And he doesn't. Elbows Austin. And Austin lets go of it after 3 elbows right to the forehead.
Yeah, I believe that Rings of Saturn was not enough to get Franco to tap.
Oh, now Franco. He's going for his own Canadian Destroyer on Austin Collins. Oh, Richie went for a drop kick, but didn't get all of it as he was trying to get a drop kick on Austin Collins to his leg. Waits for a DDT. There's a cover and a kick out by Austin. Kick out at 2.
Wow, surprising that he was able to kick out from that.
Richie went for a kick. Collins caught him. Went for a nice T-bone suplex. And Collins, oh my God, a kick right to the side of Franco's head. He is going to be feeling that one tomorrow.
And right back up, though.
Oh man, Austin Collins dropped Franco Richie. His back is starting to kill him. Oh, that's caught him! God damn it! Put him up and got him with a midair super kick. Oh my God! Cover! And a kick out of 2. Shoulder up to Richie. I'm surprised Austin didn't get knocked out from that midair super kick.
I thought it was over.
You and me both, my brother. God damn. And now Richie go for a comeback. Irish whips Austin into the corner. What's he going for here? Oh, kicks him on the knee. Got the middle open, go for it again. Canadian Destroyer. Cover, that might do it. And Franco got the victory.
Wow. Franco defeating the #1 contender for the Apex World Champion. Impressive by Franco.
Man, it has been a hell of a night for the Ritchie family tonight. Sophia beat Rochelle Ross, and Franco just beat Austin Collins, and ironic that they're both #1 contenders for their main title. Rochelle being the women's champion's #1 contender, and Austin Collins being the world champion's #1 contender. How fitting of an end is that?
Yep, the champions must be feeling good about their match going into Control.
Here is your winner, Franco Madman Ricci.
Well, I think Austin Collins, I think that moment when his back start was starting to give way was what signaled the end for him, because after that he just could not get back into Control, and whatever he could try to do was met with a very quick answer from Ritchie. But at the end of the night, Austin Collins could not get the Italian Madman down for a 3 count, and Ritchie walks out the winner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event. A fatal 4-way showcasing the 4 men that are in the pool for the Intercontinental title to determine who will be that mystery man in that match.
Speaking of such, if you have not voted already, please vote. You have exactly 2 hours to cast in your vote before the results are tallied in. So if you have not voted, go and vote for who will be the 3rd man, as we now know, who will replace Blake Adams in the 3-way dance for the Intercontinental Champion. That also includes Jaden Shadow and Kurt Carter.
Got your choice of J.D. Rack, Adam Rhodes, Daniel Harris, and Mason Foster. And although right now it's been going all kinds of crazy with the polls in that match compared to everything else, really. Out of all the polls there, it's been going absolutely batshit crazy. With the
most to be voted on so far, as my insider information has been telling me.
Let's see what happens in this fatal 4-way.
Let's go.
Making his way to the ring from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 206 pounds, Adam Rhodes.
Adam Rhodes, Adam Rhodes, he hasn't been in the ring for too long in Apex Wrestling since his return. But tonight, he's seen the polls, and he wants to impress the crowd here tonight. He's looking to try to make that big comeback in the polls. But right now he is just kind of not really getting there, but who knows? If he wins this match, maybe I'm surprised to see his numbers go up rapidly somehow.
First, from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 241 pounds, Daniel Harris.
And here comes the former Golden Boy, now turned into a man who honestly don't give a fuck what you say about him. But to be fair, he was always like that anyway. But he basically dropped the whole golden looks to him, and he's now been more serious now than ever.
Simba himself looking to make an impact, looking to go for that Intercontinental Champion, making sure, hey, this carefree attitude might get him what in this match.
And from Harlem, New York, weighing in at 230 pounds, the Voice, J.D. Rex.
Well, J.D. Rex, out of all the men on that poll, he is the rookie out of all of them in that poll. He's actually had a number of votes himself. But tonight he looks to impress. He looks to try to impress the crowd and win them over to vote for him in that poll, which is just under 2 hours away from ending, by the way. So if you haven't voted yet, go ahead and do so right now, because when those 2 hours are up, there will be no takebacks, no revoting of any kind. What ends is the final result, and that's all she wrote after those 2 hours.
Definitely. JD, being the first cousin of TK Rec, has been in action probably the most out of all the competitors here. Has been the most active, trying to get to the top of the card as quick as possible. And he has gotten there. He is very close to getting the Intercontinental Championship match. But so is this man, Mason Foster,
who in my opinion is the second most frequent wrestler to watch in this ring. And here he is. He's like I said before, he has had two previous opportunities for the Intercontinental title. He first debuted in Apex Wrestling, and the first match he had was for the Intercontinental title, trying to make a big impression and a big name for himself in Apex Wrestling. But because of what he did at Tamura, that cost clearly. And then recently he would go for it in a triple threat match alongside Blake Adams and Jaden Shadow. But at the end of that match, he was unable to secure the win there. But tonight, he's looking to try to get yet another victory for the belt. And not even 1 month since he's had his last chance at the title.
Yep, Mason Foster consistently always in a title picture of some kind, somewhere.
Right now, J.D. Reck and Daniel Harris going off on Adam Rhodes and Mason Foster, respectively. And look at this nice double counter from J.D. and Mason. They both, oh my God, it's like watching a mirror match. They're both doing the same fucking moves.
Tandem offense.
Up until just now, because Daniel Whitford elbow. Daniel Whitford elbow, but not Adam. He was like, fuck the elbow. I'm just going to keep pummeling away. And now a nice uppercut from Mason Foster to Harris, as Harris does a nice elbow. There's one, and Adam Rhodes going off on J.D. Reck right now. Nice German suplex from Foster, as Harris is on the ropes. And oh, wait a minute. Submission hold. The little tentacle submission hold. Adam wasn't going for a submission victory. He just wanted to punish J.D. Reck for that one. So many crazy things going on that I can't really keep up with it. I tell you.
Yep, having 4 people locked up in a cage And just to make a note, this is the last time that Apex is going to be under lockdown. It stops at the Internet Championship tournament. Once that happens, Apex is no longer on lockdown.
Oh, and now Adam, raping JD over the top rope, and Mason with a nice clothesline there to Daniel Harris. Adam Rhodes went for a submission hold. Mason Foster blocked it, and now Foster trying to get out of the cage. Harris trying to stop him.
I believe this follows the same rules as the Fatal 4-Way in the opening match.
Well, if that's the case, then hey, it's anybody's game whether you pin or submit or just escape out of the cage. I got JD going to work on Adam, and now JD in the corner of his eye, seeing Harris trying to escape the cage. And there he goes. And that's JD trying to get out of the cage. And Adam Rhodes catching him. No, elbow drop to Daniel Harris. And now Mason with a nice swinging slam. I think JD's not thinking of just punishing Daniel Harris more than escaping the cage right now. And Mason Foster eyeing Adam Rhodes intently. Super kick, and this time into a straight jacket suplex. And now JD's trying to get out of the cage. Foster's eyeing down. Adam and Mason Foster. Adam Rhodes, Daniel Harris has caught him. And Foster in his finisher move. Not going for the cover here. Harris is stopping JD in his tracks while Adam and Mason are going out of the ring.
You would have thought that Mason would pin off of that Welsh Valley driver while Harris is distracted with JD.
Oh no, but Foster with the Death Valley driver goes to the cover. And Mason Foster got the pin.
Oh my God!
JD and Daniel were distracted by what they were going on. The ref was caught in the pin. They couldn't get there in time.
Well, congratulations are due for Mason Foster.
What an incredible matchup that was in this main event. All four men gave it their all. But in the end, because of JD and Daniel too focused on trying to get out of the cage, that gave Mason Foster the victory over this match.
Here's your winner, Mason Foster.
Incredible matchup between these four men. And Foster gets the win as he is looking forward to hopefully facing the same. Looking to face those looking to be that mystery man of that three-way. But now, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Ground Zero. Hope you guys enjoyed it until tomorrow night, when we will be airing the Intercontinental Tournament up until the finals, which will be on Control. I'm Forrest Walpole. He's Tony Spiracio, and we are signing off from Tulsa, Oklahoma.